girl. What you doing?
Watching Mamma Mia.
On our screen detox? Where are your siblings?
Gone.
Hello everyone and welcome back to this midday update on our screen detox. You saw earlier that my teenage daughter was watching Mamma Mia, but I just wanted to speak to that a little bit because it's really important that when we speak of screen detox, we call it detox for a reason, and that's because our kids are just, they're addicted, in a certain way. It brings them that sort of disconnection and that sort of vegging out in front of the TV. It's a regulating mechanism. When my kids get really emotionally wound up really tight, they just want to veg out in front of a screen. And so watching screens is a coping mechanism and something that they've become dependent on for emotional regulation. And so this is why we call it detox, because at the beginning it does feel like we're detoxing from some kind of drug. But that said, I really want to put some emphasis on the fact that one of the leadership principles that I find is really important and that I really try to apply in my everyday life as a parent is that you can be flexible in the behavior but firm on the values, right? So you don't want to be a jellyfish when it comes to your values, but when it comes to the application and the behavior, you can show some flexibility. And so this is why I'm not religious about our screen detox. So, for instance, for today, our 7-year-old daughter and our 10-year-old son are away. They're with my mom. They're out for a day trip. And so this means that, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and the 14-year-old. So it means that our 16-year-old is currently the oldest, and then the next one is the 4-year-old twins, right? So she's kind of ruling the roost a little bit. She's by herself. And when it comes to living with teenagers in a large family, it's really important to be able to show some flexibility. When you live with teenagers in a large family, they are often subjected to the rule of the little ones. So for instance, the 4-year-old and the 1-year-old are more likely to determine where we're eating, what we're eating, which movie we're going to see than the teenagers, right? Like you have a tendency, you have to dumb it down to the level of the youngest. Like you can't stop for coffee. Like I cannot stop at Tim Hortons so you can buy a coffee and not buy something for everyone else. So they're often subjected to the rule of the youngest. I'm sure you remember being a teenager, how much like you couldn't wait to leave home because you're just so tired of all the rules, and even though you love your parents, you just want out. I've heard that from all my teenagers. And I find that it's really important to give them some space to make their own choices. But there are choices that my teenagers are not equipped to make, and there are some choices that they're not allowed to make. There are some choices in our family life that are my husband and I choices, like they don't have a choice. And so when it comes to the little details, I try to show as much flexibility as I can so as to give them some sense that this is their house as well. They need to have the opportunity to exercise agency. And like I said, as teenagers, there's still a lot of things that they don't control in their everyday life. Like there's a lot more things they don't control than what they would like. And so when it comes to things like TV, I don't mind, So what? We're on the screen detox. She's watching a movie because all her siblings are out of the house. I can give her that, right? Today, my said teenage daughter is working in town, and that's my opportunity to go and work out. I found this park. So this park is in the town of Ottawa. It's in the western part of Ottawa called Canada. And there's this park that has this toboggan, like sledding hill. There you go, it's a sledding hill. And I just ran up that hill 10 times. And you're not seeing my face, but I am beet red. So I'm not gonna show you my face, but let's say that my body knows that my brain is my currency and just sends a lot of blood there when I exercise. It was like this even when I was in good shape, and now I'm not in good shape. And this park also has this exercise park for adults with all sorts of um, installations for body weight exercises. You see there's some people working out, and people jogging around the park. It's really quite delightful. And so I'm thinking that for the duration of the summer, instead of paying a membership through the nose, I might just come here during my daughter's shift